recording. All right, welcome PittNUG members. Today's webinar is Celigo's email integration app, CloudExtend Outlook for NetSuite. And today, Zach Smithson from Celigo is going to do our presentation. Zach, if you want to go ahead and bring up your presentation. And we get to see
I'll turn my camera on as well.
Yeah, there you go. None of us will, so.
That is totally fine.
Yeah, but go ahead and I'm going to put myself on mute and, I'll be here. So, and guys, if you have questions, you want to do it throughout the presentation or wait, it's up to you, but we'll do questions at the end too. So go ahead.
All right, well, thanks. So yeah, my name's Zach. I work for a company called Celigo. We are an integration platform that helps really connect all of your cloud-based applications with one another. We are big NetSuite partners though, so we do have a lot of NetSuite integrations. We are a big presence at their NetSuite Suite World every fall as well. So if you've been to the Suite World, you probably have seen our booth there. My team specifically though is called CloudExtend. We differentiate a little bit from our Celigo counterparts there because our team is focused on what we call our NetSuite productivity integration. What that means is all of our integrations that we handle on the CloudExtend team are going to help make your NetSuite environment more efficient, better for the end users to work within their everyday applications and still be able to access a lot of that NetSuite data. Our Celigo team's more focused on more of the admin managed kind of behind the scenes integrations. So we kind of operate here independently for our CloudExtend team. But if you see both names, we are the same company. Just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of background there. So for today's call, here to talk about our CloudExtend Outlook for NetSuite integration then. So I'll make this slide a little bit bigger for you while I'll give you a little bit of a high level overview of what our offering does. And then I'll show you a little bit how the application works and everything like that before go ahead and taking some questions then. So high level, our goal with our CloudExtend Outlook integration then is to really bridge that gap then between your Outlook and your NetSuite environment. Your end goal should be to have NetSuite be that single source of truth for all your customer and prospect communication. But you want to stay within your Outlook environment and have that be kind of the best in breed application in terms of communication and talking to all these outward facing customers and everything every day. My manager harps on us all the time, actually, that if it isn't in NetSuite, it didn't happen. So that's where CloudExtend comes into play to help you save all these important communications then into NetSuite. We take a three-prong approach to that. So we start with the emails. That's kind of our primary use case for most of our customers. Where we live is a panel then inside of your Outlook inbox where you can save over these important emails and email communications into NetSuite. Select the records where you want them to get saved to, and then we save those emails in the exact same place as if you had sent them out of NetSuite too. So you have all that customer communication now living in the same place inside that record in NetSuite. We do have a couple ways to automate that too, so you don't have to worry about saving every single email over one by one. And then we do also allow you to create and edit certain record types right from your inbox too. So if you need to create a new contact or create a new opportunity on the fly, you could do that right from your inbox with our application rather than having to go into NetSuite and create it that way. Additionally, we do have a calendar sync component to the integration. We just pushed this out recently, actually, where we have a bidirectional sync. So any events created on either your Outlook calendar or your NetSuite calendar will actually sync over to the other. So you can keep your calendars both up to date in both environments there. Additionally, if you are creating those calendar events inside of Outlook, and you have a corresponding email invitee that relates to a record inside NetSuite, a contact or customer record, we'll push those as line items as activities to those records too. So you can see at the record level, who from your team is meeting with prospects, customers, and when. Have a good record of that communication too. The final component to our integration then is actually a OneDrive and SharePoint integration with NetSuite. So what we do with that is allow users to create links in between files or folders from that shared drive into NetSuite at the selected record level. Couple benefits around that: you can keep all your data now stored inside of a OneDrive or SharePoint, have the same folder hierarchy that you already have. You don't have to worry about duplicating storage and saving things in both places that way. And then most crucially, it's not taking up any of your NetSuite file cabinet space. You're keeping things living and organized in that OneDrive or SharePoint, but getting that important visibility then inside of your NetSuite environment. So that's kind of the high level what we're offering here with the email integration. Next, I was hoping to kind of walk through the platform a little bit, show you how it works in action here, starting with the email piece. That is kind of the primary use case for most of our customers. Are there any questions, I guess, high level before I get started that I can answer or anything like that? If not, no big deal. Feel free to throw them in the chat, like Rhonda said, and I can try to address them during the call or address them here at the end as well. One thing I'll point out, we are kind of a plug and play app here on the CloudExtend team. We do offer free trials, so feel free to reach out afterwards as well if you'd like to get this set up and tested for you and some of your users too. Usually only takes about an hour or so with your NetSuite and Microsoft admins to get installed within your environment. And then we do live as a Microsoft add-on within Outlook. So you can get this quickly installed for your end users that way. You'll see I have it living here within my Outlook environment. Keep it pinned so it stays pulled up here within my Outlook inbox. And then I've logged in here with my NetSuite credentials. So that's crucial for a few reasons. One, obviously, to access your NetSuite data. The other being that we're pulling in all your role permissions and everything that way that you've established inside NetSuite. So we want to keep all the controls that you've already established in place when you're accessing that NetSuite data from your Outlook. Once I've logged in here, so I'm going to navigate to this email then that I'd like to save over into NetSuite. Over here, you'll see a list of available records. So we're going to do an auto fetch to find matching records from NetSuite. That's going to be based on the email address of the sender or recipient, as well as if you have 4 or more digits in the subject line. So you could see here all of these records that were pulled back either have this Xander Smith email listed as the primary contact for that record in NetSuite, or you could see this opportunity number pulled back that opportunity record for me as well. We have a bunch of different record types that you're able to save these emails to. Under this configure records filter, you could see a list of all the transaction or entity level records that you can select here that will pull back. We do support custom records too. So it's really any of the record types that support that messages API from within NetSuite. And then you can have the ones that you care about selected and only pull those back as well. We do support the same NetSuite rollup functionality too. So if you're saving this to like an opportunity record or a contact record, it'll still roll up naturally to that customer record for you too. So we do encourage you to save it, at that lowest possible record that you can within here. All right, so if that did pull the record back, it's as simple as selecting the record you want to save it to. You can select multiple records if you need to as well. The attachment option, you can include the attachment from this email if you would like. It will save it in line with the email then when we push it over into NetSuite. And then it's just clicking associate email to push that one email over into NetSuite. So at the end of the day, it is just 1 click, 2 clicks, and now that email is going to live inside that NetSuite record. If you don't see the record that you're looking for here from the auto fetch, we do have a search bar here. This is going to function the same as your NetSuite global search functionality, so you can search for the matching record that way using the same shortcuts or anything like that. Or we do have this plus button up here as well. So if you know the record does not yet exist inside NetSuite, I can click on that plus button right here. And when you're able to create any of these records right here from your inbox, I can select the contact. We'll pull back the form for you. You can populate it with the data that you need. I click save record and we'll push that new contact record right over into NetSuite for you. All these forms are configurable too, so you can add any standard or custom fields that you might have within your NetSuite environment, make that form really meet your needs. The one thing I'll point out too, I mentioned you're logged in with your NetSuite user information there. So we do pull in those permissions. So if you cannot create or edit any of these record types from your NetSuite environment, you would not be able to do that here within CloudExtend either. So we encourage you to get those controls set up on the back end. We do also require all the same fields that would be required within NetSuite too. All right, so saving the one-time email. This is good for, if you're just one-off like that, you want to save this one email to the record there. 2 clicks is not too cumbersome. However, trying to remember to do that all day can be a lot, when you're having these conversations back and forth, or you're having multiple emails come in and everything. So we've instituted what we call our autopilot option here. So what this is doing, and these settings are sticky, so if you switch between emails, it'll stay pulled up here if you want to continue using that. It's still going to have you select where the email is getting saved to, and having you start and save that first email over. But our autopilot is going to auto-save the subsequent emails after that based on one of 2 criteria. So the first is going to be updates to the thread here. So I'll save this first email to that record, and then any replies back and forth within this email thread would automatically get saved into NetSuite at that selected record. In addition, we do have our email autopilot as well. It's going to be a little bit more involved, where you'll see that email address listed there, still select the record and start email autopilot to save that first email. But now every single email to, from, copied to this Xander Smith email will automatically save into NetSuite then at that same record that I've chosen there. So we have the 2 different autopilots really based on kind of your use case and best practices. The thread-based autopilot is going to be a lot better for some of those transaction-based records like opportunity or sales order, or maybe not every single email from Xander relates to a specific opportunity record, just this email thread here. But if you're saving emails and you prefer just saving the contacts or customers, then you might want to get the email autopilot set up so that every email from Xander, if I'm starting a new thread or replying to this one or whatever, would automatically save to the correct record in NetSuite. I'm going to go ahead and just save this one email over so you can see what that looks like then. So we'll go ahead and just select the this opportunity record here. I will include the attachment there. And then when I click the Start Thread Autopilot, you'll see a few things happen. Category pops up, Sync by CloudExtend. So I have that visual indication in my inbox that this email's been saved over into NetSuite. Over within CloudExtend, you can see that updates to the thread then are being associated by that autopilot. So I know any replies are going to be automatically recorded. And then if I hover over the record there under the associated records, you can see what record this email's been saved to inside your NetSuite. You can view it that way. You can view or edit if it's one of those 12 record types there as well, if I need to make changes to that record. Some other things around that, if you have multiple people from an organization on the same thread and you're worried about people duplicating, saving these emails over into NetSuite, you would be able to see if another colleague had already saved this email or has it on the autopilot. So you don't need to worry about you also saving it over as well. So we try to keep that visible for you too. But now with that autopilot on, if I wanted to, I could just hit that reply. We'll just send that test reply here. I don't need to worry about CloudExtend or saving it there or anything like that. It's going to automatically save that reply for me too over inside that same record in NetSuite. Someone said they cannot see my screen.
No, oh, really? I see it fine.
Okay.
Wait, what, Mark, what do you mean you can't see your screen? Do you see his email? I don't know what that means. Like, oh, he just sees him. I wonder what's going on with that. I see it fine. Anybody else have trouble seeing Mark's email? Emily, you see it?
Yeah, I see the email just fine. I don't know if changing your view in the top right, Mark, to
maybe.
standard or say swap video and shared screen. I don't know if you got to change that.
Okay. I'll just go into my sent folder here real quick though, so we could see that reply just sent. You'll notice that there's a different category on there. It says CloudExtend Autopilot. It does mean the same thing. The email's been saved into NetSuite. We just changed the category to let you know how the email had been saved over into NetSuite that way too. I'm going to click on this View in NetSuite button then. We'll pull up that opportunity record in my NetSuite environment. You can see what it looks like from that side as well. So I apologize if you're not able to see my screen then, but I do know that the call is being recorded, so we can get that recording out afterwards for anyone that wants to see that.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
So here's that opportunity record in NetSuite. So now I'm coming down here, just going to that messages tab, and you'll see the same 2 emails listed right here, line item at that record. So you can see, well, here's the initial one there with the attachment. There's the reply as well. I can view individual emails, or if I want, I like doing this, clicking the view history and seeing all the emails related to this record in one window. If I wanted to do like a Control F and look for something specific within all those email threads as well. But this is kind of the end goal here, to make sure to have all this information siloed so that you have it visible inside your CRM that way. I can come into the customer record now, and just based on that NetSuite rollup functionality, come down to the communication tab, this time under the messages, and you'll see the same emails have been saved over, along with any other emails related to this customer that my colleagues are also demoing. So you get all that email view there as well. As far as our calendar integration then, so we do allow you to sync these meetings over. We do it both ways. It is a bi-directional sync. The Outlook to NetSuite takes a minute or two, just based on Outlook, taking a second to send those out. But if I come in here to the activity section on this contact record, you could see all the line item meetings that we've been saving over. But if I wanted to create a new event here, I want to, let's see, let's do a test meeting 1, 2, 3 there, and then just make sure it's set it for next Wednesday here, and I send that over. So that meeting, first of all, it'll appear here inside your NetSuite for you, since I just created it here. But based then on the bidirectional calendar sync that we have set up with CloudExtend, I should be able to come in here to my calendar, and there have that meeting just pop up right on my Outlook calendar as well. So the NetSuite to Outlook's almost instantaneous there, and I know if you're making them from here within your Outlook and then pushing them over into NetSuite, if you make any changes to meetings or anything too, we'll push those back as well, just based on that auto. We call it our calendar autopilot. So another beneficial way then, just to have kind of that important visibility inside of NetSuite, or if you have some users that are focused more on NetSuite and some focused on Outlook, with the calendar sync there, both groups will have that visibility into each other's calendars too. And then I also like the added benefit of having it available within that record too, so I can see line item who's meeting with prospects and customers and when, or if I need to reach out again because I haven't contacted them in a little while or anything like that. Final part of the integration then is actually, I'm going to go back to this customer record too, what we call our CloudExtend files. Just authenticate my login here real quick. And here you're going to see a list of files and folders that we've linked over from our company's SharePoint over here to the record in NetSuite. Obviously, we recommend the folders a lot more, with the added benefit of anything inside that folder becomes visible to you as well. All these are just going to be links then to those files or folders within your SharePoint or OneDrive. If you don't have access to something, then you're not going to be able to access it here within NetSuite. So we do want to respect, again, any of those controls and permissions you have set up. But the added benefit here of not being able to worry about your file cabinet space or anything, keep everything centrally located in that shared drive, and again, giving you important visibility to make NetSuite that source of truth. So high level, that's kind of the 3 components we have there, are the email, the calendar, and the OneDrive SharePoint, with the end goal being that now everything is living in your NetSuite, and it helps you take full advantage of your investment in your NetSuite as well. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has, or if they want me to cover anything again. I know we have a little bit of time left for that.
Anybody have a question? And Zach too, people can reach out to see a more thorough demonstration, or have questions about anything, pricing, any type of question, right? We could send over questions to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to run through and meet again with you and people from your team if you'd like a more in-depth demo that way. I did mention we do free trials, so you could test this out in your Outlook environment for as many test users as you'd like. There's no commitment to that either. I really encourage you to trial it out before. I don't actually enjoy when people just purchase it, because that's when you're running through some some issues with the implementation or anything. So it's fun to get the trial going, see how it works. We offer free training for our product too. We have a training manager on staff that would meet with you and test users to show you how to use it during that free trial period before you have to make any decisions like that. So yeah, highly encourage you to check it out and make sure it's meeting your needs before committing to anything too. So happy to meet and demo and then talk through like next steps around getting a trial and what that would involve for anyone that's interested.
Yep. Just
But
reach out
if
to
you have
me.
questions or anything like that for now, I'm happy to answer that and or cover anything again too.
Anyone? I think you covered it so well. They don't
Awesome.
have any questions. Well,
Yeah.
wait.
This is not a question, but a shameless plug. We are using it, and I really like it. So
That's true. I do.
thank you for the demo, Zach. I really like this
absolutely
product.
Yeah.
So in terms of CloudExtend too, we do also have a almost identical application for Gmail. So if you're looking at using it for that as well, we could talk through and I could show you how it would look like from your Gmail too. And then we do have a couple Excel integrations as well. So if you're interested in either extracting or pushing data from Excel and into NetSuite, we have some options around that. So creating new records, editing records, some reporting options are related to Excel. So feel free to check out our website, just cloudextend.io. And we have a lot of good information there, some webinars and blogs posted on our site too, if you're interested in learning about some of those other products.
Yeah, I will. I'll send a follow-up email next week with when it's the recordings posted and with Zach's contact info. And so you're always welcome to reach out to me with questions or anything. But yeah, we here at GYF definitely love the product. So
thank you. Appreciate the glowing recommendation.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's it. Zach, thanks so much for doing this. I appreciate it. And with that, our PittNUG webinar is over. See ya.
Awesome. Give you all a few minutes back in your day. Thanks for your time today.
Yeah, see ya.
Thanks, everybody.